Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. My name is Jeff, and that's Mike, better known as Sumo Mike. Here's a video of him. Here's video of him at
Arigato.
yeah, here's video of him at work. No Paul today, who's at a Kylie Minogue concert somewhere. Who knows? Kylie Minogue was from the '90s. There's nobody, yet he's spending his
He's,
hours there tonight.
yeah, he's buying dinner when he gets back.
Yeah, for sure. We are your hosts. Old People This Week is a podcast for boomers over 60, but all are welcome, as they say in my church. That's what they do. When we go into our church, our priest says, all are welcome. And that's the way
All,
Mike and I
all,
are.
all who have money in your pocket are welcome
Oh my God, don't be
to
all
leave some with
cynical on
us.
me here. Please subscribe. If you subscribe, Mike will come over and throw you around like a sumo wrestler would.
Exactly.
All right. Our rant today. Anyone who doesn't think we are two old men that aren't edgy enough, or the podcast is too much pablum, well, Google turned down two of our ads because we're so cutting edge and so descriptive and crazy. And this is not the first time. So you all don't get to see our ads because they don't like our ads for some reason. Maybe they're just agists.
Yeah, they're a bunch of 20-year-olds
We're too
making those
nerdy for
decisions.
them.
Yeah.
All right, a comment. We got another one of those bad comments, probably directed at you, Mike. Well, actually, this one was directed at the three of us. This guy wrote, and he said, please consider renaming the podcast The Three Roids, as in hemorrhoids, I guess.
Good. I'm glad we're making them uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and this, and we got another one on Facebook. It said, and I like this one. It said, I love listening to old men talk, let alone a whole podcast. I'm invested.
All right. There
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
good.
Yeah, take that.
All right, we'll get into it here. Mike, I can't make fun of Billy Joel anymore.
Yeah, I was going to call you and ask you if your conscience was troubling you for all the shit you've given him over the years.
Oh, that crap, yeah. He's 76 years old, and he announced Friday that his upcoming concerts would be canceled, good, due to a diagnosis of normal pressure hydrocephalus, or NPH. The disorder can cause trouble walking and thinking clearly. I already have that. But it is sometimes reversible and can be treated.
Yeah, he let Christy Brinkley slip away the first time, so
Yeah, it
must
shows
have been
he's
that.
not thinking right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the ultimate Gen Z fail that I read about this week. It was a girl was talking about dating and how she went out on a date with a guy and they had a lot of fun. And she came back and she was wondering when she should call him again. And so she asked ChatGPT what she should
Oh,
do.
instead of making up her own mind.
Or asking her mother or the friend or anybody or us. She said, get in touch with us. Our email is oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com.
What do I tell
We
him?
have a phone number that I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'll put it here. And just call, leave a voicemail or an email, and we will tell you what to do. In your case, don't call the guy back because he's not going to hang around with you if you're so scared to call back. You have to ask Chad GBT.
Yeah, if he hasn't heard from you by now, trust me, he's moved on.
Yeah. Right. Okay. There's a new TikTok trend that you and I have got to address. It encourages men to call up their male friends before bed to tell them good night.
Do me a favor, don't call me and tell me sweet dreams.
All right, just watch the video.
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? What are you doing?
Just watch that Knicks with Rob. What's going on?
Well, listen, I just call, just call and wish you good night.
That's it? That's all you gotta say?
That's all I got.
That was all Anything else?
That's it, man. Good night.
I get the idea that it's kind of cool that you have a close friend you can call up and say goodnight, but it's so outside the limit of what men call, you know, friendship
Yeah.
or to do well with a male friend that it's weird.
Yeah, no. Call me and tell me you want me to come over and see the 67 Mustang GT 500 you just bought. But don't call me at night to tell me sweet dreams, for Christ's sake.
You wouldn't come anyways. All right. Even as you know, Mike, you're a heathen. You're not religious. You don't go to church.
No.
Even as you know, there's a new pope, Catholic pope.
Bob. Pope Bob.
No, not Pope Bob. Name is Pope. What the hell is his name? I don't know what his name is, but
he was Bob.
no, his real name before he became Pope was Robert Francis Prevost.
Yeah.
But
Otherwise
that's not
known
what
as
they name the
Bob.
Pope, you fool. That's not what they do. Over here,
No,
hang
no,
on a
but-
second.
But those of us who aren't recovering Catholics can call him Pope Bob.
New Pope name. I'm typing it in as we speak here. Pope Leo
Yeah.
the 14th. So Pope Leo the 14th. Now you know, by the way. Don't be running around calling Pope Bob anymore.
I won't.
All right.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive
Pope
me.
Leo the 14th has become the 267th occupant of the throne of St. Peter, and on May 9th, he was
Good for him.
crowned or whatever. He was to,
That happened pretty quickly, too. I mean,
yeah, they didn't screw around. They had
Yeah.
maybe 48 hours he was in.
Yeah.
But the point of this story is not, I don't know much about him, but he's an American and he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's an American male, obviously. And when he was growing up, he was just a normal guy before he became a priest, you know, before he started that journey. Well, it turned out he dated. I don't know why I find that so unusual because he's a guy growing up and normal before he decides to become a priest. But he dated and evidently got serious with at least one woman because look at this video.
It's Bob. It's Bob Prevost. It's literally Bob Prevost. Yes. It's literally Bob. Mom's situationship is the Pope of the Catholic Church. Oh my God. My mom hooked up with the Pope.
But do you imagine that? This Pope, he's got a past.
Yeah, I love it.
He got busy with some woman in Chicago. Maybe it's just because I want to believe it because I grew up Catholic and everything that these priests never touched a woman in their lives, but obviously I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, good for him. I think that's great all the way around.
Yeah. What the hell is going on here? There's something happening with this thing. I hope this goes through. Otherwise, we're going to be doing it all over again. Where was I at? Oh, I wanted to know what you thought of this. I read about this new thing. It's called TK.
Oh, no, I almost ran screaming from the room when you mentioned it. I mean, this whole how to be a parent bullshit, I mean, we were talking about this the other day. You know, growing up, I never wore a helmet. It was like mom and dad would kick us out of the house and say, go get on your horse and try not to get hurt. We'll see you for dinner. And we were in a rough part of the country, you know, I mean, but this, Jesus, now you have to have a kid get ready for kindergarten?
Yeah, let me set it up first. TK stands for Transitional Kindergarten,
Yeah.
a program designed to prepare 4-year-olds for traditional kindergarten.
Oh, Jesus.
It serves as a stepping stone between preschool and kindergarten. It's another way for schools to charge money, by the way, and a ton of it.
Yeah, and for parents to get the kids out of the house, so they don't have to be parents.
And well, having had 4 kids and gone through the process then, which was you went to a place that was in essence not a preschool, but like a nursery. I mean, whatever they call them, where kids stay during the day. And then by the time they were 4 or 5, they went to preschool and they went to elementary school. I think that the schools thought, why are we giving up all that money to these kids that are before they get here? Let's do add an extra year on. We can make that money. So here comes TK. By the way, when I was 4 years old, there was no TK. There was no preschool. There was work outside, mow the lawns, shovel the snow until you were 5 years old. Then you got a break for 8 hours. You got to go to school. Okay. P. Diddy.
Oh, please.
John Combs, P. Diddy, is legally obligated to pay Sting, the artist Sting, $5,000 a week for the rest of his life for using a sample of Sting's song "Every Breath You Take" in the Sean Combs hit "I'll Be Missing You" without permission. So P. Diddy records this song called "I'll Be Missing You" about the death of the notorious B.I.G. And I know you remember him. You probably hung out with him when you were being whiz bang.
Yeah, he used to knock me off. He used to knock me off and steal some of my material.
Well, P. Diddy decides to do this tribute song to him after he got shot, after Notorious B.I.G. got shot, and stole basically a sample from "Every Breath You Take" that Sting wrote. Yeah. And Sting took him to court, and they won, and he gets paid $5,000 a week for the rest of his life. That's how rich these dudes are. Just one. I've never got $5,000 a week for anything. That's $5,000 a week. Say you work 50 weeks a year. That's right off the bat. That's $250,000. He doesn't have to worry about.
Yeah, and it just feeds to the thing we were talking about last week about how disconnected these guys are.
What we were talking about was that these people feel they're above the law, and you understand why. They got so much money rolling in. They do what they want. They don't have to worry about anything. And then, then the law comes after them when they start getting in trouble, like this P. Diddy does. I
wonder if he's been paying it.
I thought to myself, that money's going to dry up. Now, when P. Diddy spends every penny that he has on his defense, on this
legal fees.
Yeah, legal fees. Yeah. The other thing I read was that this was classic. What they served him this weekend for Memorial Day in jail.
Didn't want to know.
No, it's funny. So if you're in jail right now and it's Memorial Day, and even if you're P. Diddy and you're in there, they gave you barbecue chicken, canned corn, macaroni and cheese, and a fruit cup.
Oh, delicious.
A guy like P. Diddy must be going, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Well,
because he's never had to eat that stuff in years.
Yeah. He must be missing that private jet and those lunches at Cap Ferrat.
He's missing those freak offs that he did.
Yeah. Well, he may get in freak offs that he never thought about, given where he is.
You're getting the kind of freak offs you get when you're in federal penitentiary for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Oh, man. All right, Mike, I know you like to do your nails.
I do.
Yeah.
Look at these nails.
I know, look at
that.
You do get manicures too, by the way.
I do. And a pedicure.
How much?
I love it. That's like $50-$60.
See, and you complain about my haircuts, and you're getting manicure, pedicure. Oh, you should never have told me this.
No, but compare now. Your hair looks like a chia pet. My nails are perfect, just perfect. But you pay for that. That's what's staggering.
You pay to have somebody messing around with your fingertips like some old woman. Oh my God. Anyway, so now I know you're into it. So I've got this for you. This story for you. I'm going to show you cow print nail designs for a playful take on a neutral manicure.
Yeah.
Traditional cow print is a white base on a black blob, says celebrity manicurist Fleury Rose. You can easily achieve this with a dotting tool dipped in black polish and then customize the look using different color combos. So this trendy manicure isn't restricted to black and white or even brown and white. If you're feeling bold, you can even do a rainbow cow print.
Oh,
I expect the next time I see you, show me your cow print.
I'm on the edge of my chair over this trend.
You get what's called a French tip when you go?
No, that's a white band around the very end.
Do you tip the woman that you go to?
Oh yeah, Kathy, she's great.
How much you tip her for $50? Another 10.
10, another 10.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to
Yeah.
get, this is the best thing in the world. I'm going to sneak and take video of you getting this.
The
Man,
next happy hour, you look at my nails and you will see. Look at these. I mean, look at that perfection.
oh, that's disgusting. Oh, man. Well, I figured that all of this, Mike's doing his pedicure, manicure, and these kids just all lost and doing all their stupid things. We have to completely reset our civilization. So me, Mike, and Paul have decided to buy an island. We're going to go live there, and anyone who wants to live under our boomer rules can live there too. Now you might wonder what the rules are. Here they are. No phones, no internet. They have bars there, but they're there to teach men and women how to talk to each other.
Exactly.
Because they don't know how to do it nowadays. They get on, they swiping all over the place. It'll have drawing paper so they can draw, so they don't have to, they can't be creative any other way. And we'll give them crayons, paints, colored pencils, and all that. We'll have a stage there so they can put on plays and they can act. They can see what acting is about and not just looking at the phone. They have bicycles. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to order an Uber. You don't have to get in a driverless car. We'll have bikes. You can't misspell your name. If your name is Tracy, you spell it Tracy, not Tracee. There's no stocking caps allowed on their head. No
And
anklets.
No backwards baseball caps.
No
either.
backwards baseball caps whatsoever. And especially no Crocs.
Oh, no. See, Crocs are mandatory on the island.
No Crocs. No
Especially
Crocs.
my camo Crocs.
No Crocs.
I have to show you my camo Crocs.
This is the amazing thing is that now that I've come to know you, you're a guy who wears Crocs and gets manicure, pedicure, and does whatever that is to your head every week so that your hair looks like
Look
that.
at that.
You wear that
It's
same
perfection.
stupid shirts because you know that one of our viewers once said she liked it.
Allison loves my blue shirt. I have it laundry done every week just for Allison.
Oh my God. Okay.
See, compare our two heads. Look at my hair. Look at your hair. This is like a before and after picture. Yours.
I told you this is what's called a boomer mohawk. It's
No,
beautiful.
that's not called anything. That's called an uncontrolled outbreak.
It's hair. It's called hair, which you don't have. All right. Bill Belichick. We can't go to every episode has to have a Belichick. So the only thing that kills me about this particular advancement in the story is that they got in touch with the chancellor of North Carolina, like this big shot Lee Roberts, like above the deans, above the president, there's a chancellor.
Yeah.
And they asked him, what about all this drama? What about all they're going to do? His only answer was, when we hired Coach Belichick to bring Carolina football to another level, we increased the price of our season tickets and we sold them out. See, these guys will sell their soul for an extra $10 a ticket.
Yeah. Now, he could be dating a 15-year-old and they wouldn't care.
No, they wouldn't care. The ticket price might go up more even.
As long as they're getting their money. You saw they announced their engagement.
They didn't formally announce it. That's why I didn't bring it up yet. She mentioned it to one person. I don't think it's been formalized.
Yeah, I think there was a formal announcement.
Oh,
It'll be
he's
interesting
stupider
to
than
see.
he looks then. We do need to get him on the phone, get him on this show.
We need an intervention.
We need an intervention for sure. Because he's going to be, in 1 year from now, we'll be doing this story, and he'll be dead broke, and he'll be coming around looking for money from us.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
he'll
we
be living
warned
in
him.
one of the apartments he bought for her. Oh, $8 million worth of real estate holdings in Maine.
Are you
She bought
serious?
3 buildings. Yeah, she bought 3 buildings. I mean, she went from 3rd place in the beauty pageant, in which one of the people who beat her was a transgender. And now she has an $8 million real estate portfolio. Add that up.
See, that's the first chink in his armor. Gave her $8 million. Next is going to be $80 million.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, you know what hymns are? They sell them on TV.
Yeah, you see the ads, hymns and hers.
Yeah,
There's
hymn.
products
Yeah.
for men and women, yeah.
Yeah. And the women one, though, is pretty just grow your hair,
Yeah.
maybe some estrogen or something. The Hims ones, though, they advertise a 4-in-1 pill that does this, 4 things. 1, stronger erections, whatever, something. Thicker hair, minoxidil, something. Less hair loss, finasteride, and added support. They put some more supplements in there.
Oh.
So basically, this is marketed towards your basic, balding, underperforming Gen X man.
Who's in bad shape.
Yeah, you're in bad shape if you're taking that pill.
Oh, God. And your doctor runs screaming from the room if you tell him about it.
Yeah. Well, the doctors don't care. Well, I don't know if this is even something you get from a doctor. I think this is something you just get from some website.
Yeah, you get it through the mail in a plain brown wrapper.
Right. Those who are there really doctors behind this? Who knows what you're taking?
Yeah, hell no.
Start growing things on your body. So, this guy, then, where is this dude at? So here's a guy probably who could use about 50 cases of that Hims. His name is Mike Solana. He's a 26-year-old man. And he went massively viral, that's what they said, after sharing that he had been on Tinder for 5 years, swiped right, meaning that must mean that it's, you want to meet somebody, swiped right on 2 million girls, landed only one date, which ended with no spark.
Damn.
The ladies were quick to point out that the guy was not only fat, but holding fish in several pictures, something they evidently didn't like to see him holding a fish.
A fat outdoorsman. Wonderful.
And then the guys who watched this noticed that Mike was middle of the pack attractive, and the guys that saw this said, well, fishing's cool, and women today are cruel and delusional. Now, so one of the people said, well, maybe it's a turnoff that he was wearing a sweatshirt that said, sit your ass on my face.
Oh, boy.
He
Said a
needs to
guy
come to
holding
our
fish.
island.
Yeah.
We'll strip all that bad clothing off him. We'll slim his ass down, and we'll put him in one of our meet opposite sex bars, and he'll do fine. Trust Mike and I.
Yeah. Yeah.
And email us
There-
any day, oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. I'm showing that phone number here below. It's 300-800 something, 310-800 something.
Yeah.
But it'll be listed here, and you can call us, and we'll tell you what to do. All right. I don't have a sit your ass on my face T-shirt, though. Maybe
Yeah.
I should
And
start
I'd love to
selling
see
them.
you try to wear it. Val would have your ass in a 10-second.
So I was looking up words. I was trying to piss off my sons who are Gen X and Gen Zers, and I used their own words against them. Here's one. First one I used was I called them bougie. They're always calling me bougie, so I call them bougie.
Yeah.
It means that they're always calling it to me because they're thinking I'm overly she and stuck up, but it's actually them. Number 2, drip. It's used to describe a person's clothing, especially if it's flashy or eccentric. Mike, you got tons of drip.
I got drip. I got Riz.
I
And
got
I wear
drip
this
on
shirt.
those
I got drip.
toenails and manicure, pedicure. Guap. It means a lot of money. So say it to someone who doesn't have money just to piss them off. And of course, Riz. And Mike, you and I know what Riz is. We did this a long time ago. We talked about
We
Riz
invented
and how
it.
we both have Riz.
We invented it.
We invented Riz. All right, to media. I don't know if you followed the story a few years ago of Sherri Papini.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She was like a 25 or 6-year-old housewife, 2 kids living up, I can't remember, somewhere, Redding, California. She goes
Northern
out for a hike
California.
one day, she vanishes, town goes nuts, they look everywhere for her. 22 days later, she comes staggering back. She's been beat up, she's got bruises all over, she's got a brand across her back I don't remember what it said. And she said she'd been kidnapped by 2 masked Hispanic women. and held against her will. And probably wanted ransom money. And then they finally thought the heat was getting too much, and they dumped her off. Okay.
Yeah.
So, cut to 2 years later, the cops find some DNA on her clothing, and they led them to a guy named James Reyes. And it turns out James Reyes was an ex-boyfriend of hers, and it turned out that that's where she spent the 22 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So she is arrested. She's put on trial. She's found guilty because of the fraud of it all and the money that they raised and the wasting of the time that for the sheriff and all the other cops. And she comes out now with the new special. You know what her story is now?
God only knows, and nobody's going to believe it.
Yeah, that you know what, you're right there. Nobody. I watched enough of it already on YouTube. I'm not believing a thing of it. But she's basically blaming the whole thing on James Reyes.
The boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah, even though even though it was clear that he told the cops at the time that she had just basically went to him and said, "I need to get out of here. Help me escape my husband." And he said, "I was a friend. I was, she'd been a girlfriend. I helped her." And he passed a polygraph test, and that's how they convicted her. Now she says it's all BS. He kidnapped her, drugged her, took all of her clothes, threw her in his cabin, chained her to the wall, beat her up, branded her on the back, and then dumped her. But then that doesn't make any sense, because why didn't she just, when he got dumped her on the side of the road and why did she come up with a story about two masked Hispanic women?
This woman needs to be in an institution, because she keeps coming up with this bullshit. And, if the boyfriend had been involved to that degree, they would have broken him down when he took the polygraph, and that crap would have come out instantly.
Yeah. She said, James had let me out of my chains, and I said to him, "My husband's going to find me. He's never going to stop looking for you. You need to let me go." And James said, "Well, there's too much has happened. So it all came down to me," she said. "It all came down to my cover-up, and that's when I agreed to make up that someone else did it." So convoluted.
So ludicrous.
And what she came up with is two masked Hispanic women. What are two masked Hispanic women doing?
Yeah, come on.
Trying to prepare
seriously.
All right, Mike, I'm going to talk about a person who's doing something you could never do in a million years.
Here we go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, this person, she's an American circus actress, Layla Noon. She broke the Guinness World's Record for the longest time suspended by her hair.
Her hair.
You couldn't
I sent you
suspend
that
yourself.
story. I love that story.
You couldn't suspend yourself for 1 minute on your hair. No minutes.
No, but it's perfect, but it's not made for hanging myself with.
You outed yourself 2 weeks ago and you said it was a toupee. So pull it off.
This is real. This is as real as it gets. Look at
Real
that.
as it gets. Anyways, Layla, the professional hair hanger, was suspended by her ponytail for 25 minutes and 11 seconds in a forest in California. Now, I couldn't do that now. This would just rip my scalp off. But when I was younger, my hair was so thick that you could have tied it on. I could have hung from a tree for a day or so.
That's frightening. That's absolutely frightening.
This
Your hair
person
any
is...
longer,
Huh?
your hair any longer than it is now. That would have scared people away forever.
It wasn't just longer, it was thicker. It was super thick. She's a 4-time competitor of NBC's American Ninja Warrior, and she said she trained 2 years to accomplish this feat. 2 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, the picture's kind of cool. I mean, she's got it's done in a knot, and then there's a ring in it. And
You know what they probably did? They probably screwed a bolt into her head, hit it by the hair, and just to let her hang there so she could break this record. 25 minutes of your hanging from your hair.
your hair, I don't know.
Oh, you're right, whatever. Okay, finally the Florida headlines. And this is just headlines. I don't have to do any more. I'm never going to have to do a full Florida story anymore. These headlines are classic. Number one, thousands of Florida gun owners planning to shoot down Hurricane Irma.
Okay.
So they're all going to line up, they said, in front of this advancing hurricane and shoot into it, and somehow it's going to turn it around or kill it or something.
I don't want to be half a mile away when all those bullets come falling out of the sky.
Number 2, Florida man wears a F the police t-shirt to court.
And wins.
Yeah, and wins. All right, number 3. Florida man denies drinking and driving, says he only chugged bourbon at stop signs.
Yeah, that's not really drinking.
That's not drinking and driving. I was just sitting at the stop sign, so what do you mean I'm drinking and driving? Okay. Here's another one. Florida man climbs on playground equipment to tell kids where babies come from. It's one thing for you to be nutty enough to start climbing around with a bunch of little kids. Number 2, to be nutty enough to try to tell little kids where babies come from. And number 3, to do it when you look like this.
Oh my God.
If my wife had seen this guy crawling around and coming near our kids on a playground, she would have beat him to death with whatever was in her hand.
Or every kid in the playground would have run screaming for their car.
There would have, oh my God. They would get killed. Okay. Florida man arrested for trying to steal a power pole by strapping it to his SUV.
That picture is priceless.
What are you going to do with it, too? I mean, you go 2 miles and somebody's going to go, where the hell is this guy going?
And it's 4 times as long as his car, and he has it strapped to the roof of his car. Oh, there must be some mistake, officer. That's not my pole.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know how that got there.
All right, here's another one. Florida man tries to leave a strip club, clearly effed up, drunk or whatever, crashes into a house, and then runs himself over.
Backing out of the house.
Can't make that up. And finally, our piece de resistance. A Florida man caught trying to smuggle a dead alligator in his car. And those poor little claws sticking out there.
Out of the air conditioning vent.
Yeah, out of the air conditioning vent. Where do you put the thing anyways?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Florida guys are so freaking weird.
Before we go, by the way, there are 2 Via Condias we should mention.
I forgot about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. The first is Phil Robertson, 79 years old. He was the patriarch of Duck Dynasty.
Oh, that
Remember
old
the guys
goat.
with the beards and
That stupid beard. I'll rip that
lived in
beard
the
out.
swamps. And, yeah, that was kind of a cool
I
show.
wonder how they buried him. They probably threw him in the swamp.
Yeah, maybe gator food. You never know.
He's not, but that dude's not getting any mani-pedis.
No. And then famously, George Wendt,
Oh,
76 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's been this week's episode of Old People This Week. Paul, of course, is not available because he had to go see, was it Kylie Minogue in concert? Who the hell Kylie Minogue is? Nobody. And then please subscribe. If you subscribe, Mike will come to your house and he will give you a mani-pedi. You have lots of fun, ladies.
Absolutely.
He'll even do a little cow print on your
nails.
On your nails. Send us an email to oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com because obviously we bring up a lot of questions in this thing, and we want not only to hear comments, but we want to instruct people of generations after us as to what to do.
Yeah, ask us questions. Give us some challenges.
And we'll tell you what to do. Like that guy who's swiping right for 2 million women, and none of them went out with him. If he spends 10 minutes with us, he'll get plenty of dates. We do have a phone number that I alluded to several times in this podcast, and here it is below us. You can call us. We have We have operators on duty 24/7. Mike and I and Paul take shifts, and then we hand it over to our highly paid professionals to take over the rest of the day. So if you have any questions or comments, you can give them to them directly, and we'll take care of them. And check out our Substack, 52tasks.substack.com. It is for everyone, and we teach you how to become a better person, one task at a time.
I still owe you mine, by the way.
Huh?
I still owe you mine, by the way.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for
It's a
weeks.
work in progress.
All right, everybody, thank you. We appreciate your interest in the podcast. Subscribe, as like we said, send us money, and stay in touch. Adios,
absolutely.
amigos. See you later, Michael.
You bet. Thanks for watching.
All right, man, I got to get going and get out of here.
Okay.
Talk to you
Check
later.
and make sure that's recorded.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to check right now.
Here's the old people this week quote of the week. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. Norm Peterson, cheers.